welcome back to the Life and Listings podcast. Today I have Brandon joining us. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm blessed beyond belief. How you doing, Jennifer?
Pretty good. I'm excited about our conversation. We only have 20 minutes, but I feel like we can dive into like a whole bunch of different directions. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to.
You bet. So I'm the CEO of HOA.com, where we're using AI to revolutionize the homeowner association industry, which is desperately needed. And we're also getting ready to launch a certified HOA specialist course and designation for the real estate industry. So agents become experts in their HOAs and win more listings in the HOAs they farm.
That right there is an important piece because I don't know how many times I've been on one side of the deal. Agents just don't understand what they're asking or how to explain to their clients or anything like that. So that is going to be huge for the industry.
Well, it's super important because 53% of all homes in the US are in HOAs, and nobody's really ever thought about before creating that expertise. And so that's what we're doing to really educate and empower agents so they understand the ins and outs. They know the red flags to watch out for, because there are some HOAs you don't want to sell your clients into.
I've been on that side of a deal before where I was like representing one of my family members and we were going to go look into an HOA, and the information that we received back in our due diligence was something that I did not want her investing any of her money in. We pulled back immediately, right?
Exactly.
Someone else came in and bought that. So you have to be educated on that. And I do think that's one of the larger pieces that us as agents just don't know anything about.
Yeah, and there's two sides, right? There's the red flags, what's to stay away from, but we really focus a lot about how do you win more listings in the communities that you farm. And, top producing agents have communities, neighborhoods that they farm. They're typically HOAs, and you want to be able to elevate your expert authority, stand out from the competition, and win more listings by having that designation. So that's why we're bringing the certified HOA specialist designation to the market.
Love it. And one of the other things that we had kind of talked about a little bit earlier, and I think we can go in so many different directions with this topic, is just one of the things you really push in the industry is like building relationships and getting referrals. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got started in the mortgage industry. Full disclosure, I did 12 years in the mortgage industry, starting back in my 20s, and did a $500 million in transactions by referral. And so ever since then, I've been building tech platforms to help realtors and others win more referrals. My latest book, Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents, checking out on Amazon. Sorry, it's a little shameless self-promotion there, but I've had the pleasure of helping over 250,000 real estate agents over my career. And what I know is that realtors give out a ton of referrals and they don't get many back. Most realtors don't have a system at all for their referrals. We tell people to start by kind of doing a quick quiz. It takes about 60 seconds. It's called the Referral Score Quiz. And with that, you can really find out where the gaps are in your business. There's 10 referral best practices that aren't on a lot of people's radar. So when real estate agents go through that, they're like, oh my gosh, I need to thank the people that send me business. Yes, you do. Oh my gosh, I need to update them as I'm going through the transaction, which gives you an opportunity to follow up with them, stay in touch, and just show them the professional that you are. So there's 10 best practices. You can check that out at Referral Score Quiz. That's a great place to start. What happens is sometimes we can't see the picture when we're inside the frame. And so that allows you to see some of the blind spots in your business, and you can quickly course correct and improve things and start winning more referrals.
I love that. So one of the big things you're kind of teaching people is, I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but obviously it's not. These
Yeah.
vendors give you referrals, they send you clients. They're wanting updates in the process, and we're not giving them what they need. And that was their original client.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned this in the mortgage business. I had a client, he was a VP for Intel. He referred a client to me, and I had closed on that refinance for his client. And he called me up one day. He said, hey, Brandon, just want to check in with you and see how things are with Mike Smith. And I'm like, oh, they're awesome. We closed on that transaction like 3 weeks ago. Thanks again for referring him over. And then there was this long awkward pause. And he says, you mind if I give you a little coaching? He said, number one, it's a really good idea to thank people that give you referrals. And I always thanked my realtor referral partners, but I never thought about my clients, and I just missed it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt like a freaking dunce. But then he says, number two, it's also a good idea to follow up and update the people that give you referrals so they know what happened with their clients, customers, friends, family members that they referred over to you. Make sure they got a great outcome. And so, anyway, I failed at this until I figured it out, and then I had to put systems in place to improve that. But the other side is, as you say, with the vendors, realtors give a ton of referrals out. They feed everybody and they don't get many referrals back. And it's a pain point. So, what we teach in the book is how to turn your vendors into proactive partners who are actually scouting for business for you. They understand that if you're going to feed them business, they need to be looking for opportunities for you as well. Because a contractor that's going to fix up a kitchen or a bath, it might be because that seller, that homeowner is looking to put that home on the market and is going to be listing it soon. And you want to have your brand on their brain. So they're recommending you and you're winning that listing.
That's smart. I mean, it's a two-way street, right? We wanted to update whoever sent us tons of business. So then they're and kind of give back either information or more referrals. I know that one of my favorite lenders that I've ever had updated me so much on everybody that I would send him, whether I was actively working with them or it was just like a refinance. Like, these little touch points made me send him more business because I never really had to follow up because I knew he definitely had a system. It wasn't just, like, top of mind. He definitely had a system where he was updating me. He still calls me every year and, like, reminds me of everyone's birthdays. Like, there's a system in place for where I'd spent my business in California. So I think that's so important. We have a very small, like, system built within that when we have clients. It's like I always have, like, a little step in there, like, if this was a referral, send a card, send a gift, say thank you. Like a little reminder at the end of the workflow. Not amazing system, but just a little touch point because I did the same thing where I had someone refer me a bunch of business and then they call me one day like, "What happened with all these people?" And I'm like, "Oh, I should have probably told you." Like, all they could happen.
We teach the fortunes in the follow-up, right? Because if you're famous for your follow-up, just like the lender that you talked about, you want to do more business with them because you view them as a higher level of professional than somebody that isn't following up. And from the lender's perspective, speaking from the perspective of a past lender, it allows them to add more value to you. So the more you follow up, the higher your stock rises with people. And then when you talk about your systems, we recommend too that you automate the apps. A lot of real estate agents don't ask for referrals because they don't feel comfortable and confident. They don't know how to ask the right way at the right time. And so that we teach the art of the ask. But in your system, you can actually automate the ask so that you've got touch points at the end of the transaction. You're asking for a testimonial, you're asking for referral, and you're asking for reviews. We teach the art of the ask, where you actually plant the seed at the beginning of the transaction when they first hire you, so they understand and agree that you're going to ask them for referrals later on once you've proven yourself to them.
Ooh, I love that. A lot of our clients build in request for review, right? I have them automate that part. But you're actually building in like, hey, if I do an amazing job for you, I am going to ask for referrals from your friends, your family, blah, blah. And then you're doing it towards the end. Like, are you coaching for them to do it at the same time as the review? Or like, is there a special cadence?
We recommend you do both at the beginning. So in the art of the ask, there's 3 steps. Number 1, set the stage. Number 2, listen for the referral triggers. And then number 3, ASK to GET. So let me unpack that. You got a client, they sign a listing agreement or a buyer broker's agreement with you. What you want to do before you let them out of that meeting, whether it's in person or on Zoom, is say, before I let you go, I have a quick favor to ask you. I love helping families like you find their dream home or their investment property, depending on what kind of client you have. And I'm so committed to delivering a 5-star experience for you so that you'll rave about me to everyone you know. So, what I'd like to ask, would it be okay if once I've proven myself to you and delivered that 5-star experience, would it be okay if I ask you for a review and referrals later on? Now, you're setting the stage. You're not putting him on the spot. You're basically saying, I'm going to do a great job for you, right? In that process, you'll get some referrals immediately because they'll be like, well, now that you mention it, Jennifer, I have a brother, cousin, sister, aunt, client, coworker that's looking to buy or sell right now, and I'll just refer you right now. Awesome, right? Bonus. But we're setting the stage. Once you set the stage, you're planting seeds about the future. Now they're thinking all the way through the process. Wow, Jennifer's really awesome. I love working with her. Communication's great. She goes above and beyond. So now we're listening for the referral triggers, which is, wow, Jennifer, you are just amazing. You are so good to work with. I love it. Thank you. I love the house, whatever that expression of appreciation is. Ideally, you actually manufacture a wow moment where they say, wow, I love working with you. Okay. But something along the line where they're saying thank you because now they're in a peak referral state.
Mhm.
So now that you've heard the referral trigger, your response, you're going to ask a GET, you're going to ask the right way at the right time. And it sounds something like this. I'm so glad to hear you say that. Remember when we first started working together, I told you I was going to go above and beyond and create a 5-star experience for you. Well, now that you've had that, I would love it if you'd be so kind as to record a quick, video testimonial for me. It'd only take 30 seconds or so. And if you have any friends, family members, anyone you know that's thinking about buying or selling a home, I hope you'll always recommend me. And if there's anybody that I can do a free market analysis right now, I would love to help them the way I've helped you. When you approach it that way, you can feel comfortable and confident asking for referrals, and you do it at the front end. So all the way along, the likelihood that you're going to get more referrals is higher.
I love that. You are setting the tone. Most people are totally understanding that we're going to ask them for a review, generally speaking. But they're not thinking about how they can send you more business and help you. They're just not thinking about it. And they're in this huge transaction, you generally, that they're just not even thinking about it. And then we're just not mentioning it. So they don't do it. So you're building it completely into the system. So then you definitely do it throughout the transaction.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, no offense, they don't care about you. They're not referring business to you to help you. You are the solution to the people they care about, right? You are showing that you're the expert that they can trust and refer their friends, family members to, clients, coworkers. So the reason they refer you business is not because they want to help you, it's because they want to help the people they care about. They want to help the people that they love. And when they know that you're going to take care of them, that's when you're going to get more referrals. Make sense?
That totally makes sense, and that's a great point. It's not about them giving us business, it's about you did a really great job, and now they trust to give their mother-in-law or whoever to you because before they didn't know you. That is a really good point. So when you reframe that thought like that, the way that you ask is gonna be different too, because you wanna make sure you're leading with value. Okay.
100% and serving others, right? It's about people before profit. And one of the things I teach people when they before they go on video is focus on the person on the other side of the lens, on the people on the other side. We get so concerned about how are people going to view us and look at us, but it's not about us. It's about them. So when you focus on serving rather than selling, then you don't have commission breath and people can feel the difference, right? So when you make a difference to other people, they want to tell everybody they can about you.
Right, I'm putting the book on my Amazon wish list that we're
Come on.
right after our So you also mentioned before that having the right mentor makes
Yes.
all the difference. So I'm
Huge.
assuming you had some amazing mentors to get to the point you're at right now. So tell us a little bit about some of your mentors and like maybe some recommendations for anyone listening on finding a good one for them.
Well, mentorship is huge. I believe that you should have mentors in your life and you should also mentor others. Like I'm a big brother and I have a 17-year-old that I mentor and I just love it. It's so fulfilling. But I've had mentors all my life. When I got in the mortgage business, I had somebody teach me the art and science of raving referrals. And they didn't call it that. I created that myself, but they taught me what I needed to know, that basic training that helped me 10x my income from 20,000 a year to $200,000 a year in 18 months. Now, my top mentor in my life is a man named Mark Victor Hansen. He wrote those Chicken Soup for the Soul books. In fact, we were just texting yesterday, and he's been my mentor now for 21 years. And he's just helped me expand my vision for what's possible. And it makes such a difference in your life. So you've got to have strong mentors helping to point you in the right direction.
How do you find the right mentor?
Well, in the case of Mark, I had hired him to come speak at a charity fundraiser that I was doing when I had my own mortgage company, Integrity Lending, back in the day. And so in that case, I befriended him through the process. And I just knew this is somebody that I want to learn from. So once you identify that there's somebody that you feel like you can learn a lot from, whether that's maybe your managing broker or, a coach client in the industry. My co-author for my Raving Referrals book is Burl Workman. He runs Workman Success. He has about 100 different real estate coaches that work for him. Amazing man, right? So you want to find a coach or a mentor that can really help you take your business to the next level. Once you identify somebody, pour into them. In the case of Mark, what I did is I found out what he cared about. And then I focused on communicating that I wanted to join his mission of helping accomplish what he was focused on. That got his attention because it wasn't about me. I was giving first and focused on coming alongside him and helping him achieve his life vision and mission. And in the process, he took me under his wing and changed my life.
Love that. I feel like it is so important. I mean, you can have mentors for so many different things. I have like little mini mentors all over the place, whether it's like I look up to certain moms and how they are mothers and how they show up for their families. So many different business owners that I'm like, I need to learn more from you and what you're doing. I just need to be around you, right? I mean, so a lot of times it happens with like a broker or a coach or someone maybe that you're compensating to be there. But then over time, you might grow into, like, you're still paying them. That's fine too, but I do think having some form of mentor or multiple mentors is really important when we're growing businesses or anything.
Yeah, especially when we're earlier on in our careers, right? Because when we're getting started, we don't know what we don't know. Last night, I was at a Christian business group, and half of the guys were older in their 50s, and then the other half were either in college or just graduating from college, but they were focused on the real estate industry and learning how to develop or do multifamily. And so it was a great combination of where us older guys were able to pour into the younger guys and take them under our wings and help raise up the next generation.
And that's fulfilling for the mentor also, right? Like you've spent so much time building businesses or doing whatever you've been working on and being able to share some of that knowledge. I do that a lot at Stats. Like I'm like just 15 minutes and we can just dig into someone's business and just kind of like pivot what they're thinking. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, I've seen a million people make these mistakes. Why? I'm not going to let you do the same thing. Let's, in 15 minutes, I'm going to fix this, probably save you thousands of dollars and a huge headache. So don't do it this way.
Avoid the potholes, right? You help them avoid those and get the path to success.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brent, let's pivot a little bit. And I wanted you to share, what is your superpower?
Yep, my superpower is partnerships. In my role as CEO of HOA.com, I focus on partnerships with large companies. And I didn't start that way. I started by learning how to partner with realtors, financial advisors, insurance agents. And so we teach something called the Referral Partner Blueprint. You can go to HOA.com/blueprint and download that. It's a free PDF. And so I love partnerships. So we just partnered with a company called Resas. They have 670,000 real estate agents on their platform. I was just last month, I was at the Remax R4 convention meeting with their CEO. And that's what I love doing is creating win-win structures. And quite frankly, where everyone in the ecosystem wins.
Was that something you feel like you were born with? Or do you feel like that's a thing that you kind of grown over time?
Absolutely grown over time. What happened was when I took my income from 20,000 to 200,000 in a year in 18 months, I realized that that all came through partnership. And so this is a lesson I learned in my late 20s. And ever since then, I've been very intentional about who I can partner with and how to partner with them. And it's something I learned from Mark Victor Hansen. He teaches 1+1 = 11. And that's the leverage that you get in a partnership. If I partner with an organization that has hundreds of thousands of real estate agents and I add massive value into their organization and they promote us to all of these people, there's wins all over the place. So it's something that you learn over time. And my goal is to shortcut it for people so they can get to it quickly and start implementing immediately.
Amazing. You're their mentor through your classes and your books.
That's, that's why I write the books. It's why I do the videos. It's not about me. It's about empowering as many people as possible.
Love it. Well, Brandon, if anybody's listening here and they want to get in touch with you or just follow you for what you're doing, where's the best place to send them?
Well, certainly HOA.com. If you're not already on the platform, check out our certified HOA specialist program. It's a great designation. It takes about 4 hours to go through the online videos, and then you'll get certified. And then we give you an HOA activation playbook so you know exactly how to partner with HOA boards and become the top trusted pro in the HOAs that you serve. But then if you want to connect with me, you can go to brandonbarnum.com and you'll find all my details and all the stuff I'm up to.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for joining us today and sharing all of this awesome information. I already wrote down the blueprint and the book that I'm going to have to go download a little bit later, and then we will talk again very soon.
Wonderful. Jennifer, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate your leadership.
Have a great day.
You too.